Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. First things first, before I start this video, I have to give a shout out to Mr. Boxing today because I actually heard this on his channel and he's very upset at this, and rightfully so. And I'm very upset to deliver this news to you all. Luis Ortiz versus Alexander Ustinov will not be going forward on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez versus Liam Smith on pay-per-view. Now, according to Russian promoter Vladimir Ustinov, who is Alexander Ustinov, is his promoter, he said here, quote, that Ortiz will not be facing his fighter Alexander Ustinov on September 17th in Texas as part of the HBO pay-per-view card for former two-division world champion Canelo Alvarez, where he'll be facing Liam Smith for the 154 WBO light middleweight title. Now we all know that the Ustinov and the Ortiz fight was scheduled for the interim title, which Ortiz currently holds for the WBA, and it's all part of the heavyweight tournament where all these fighters, including Ortiz, Ustinov, will be fighting to for a chance of becoming the actual one and unified and solely unified, I should say, recognized WBA champion, which is kind of stupid, but it is what it is. Now, Uchinov had more to say about this, and this has been pretty problematic from the beginning. And this fight itself was imploding from the start. He said here, quote, "Look, we're very extremely disappointed to hear that despite agreeing terms, signing a contract, and now the date for the WBA interim heavyweight championship that Luis Ortiz is honored championship." Luis Ortiz is refusing to honor the agreement to the fight on September 17th and has withdrawn. Golden Boy Promotions have acted with integrity and in good faith, and I hear that Ortiz is now negotiating a termination of his contract with Golden Boy. Wow. It gets even better. Uchinov said here, quote, "I want to sue." Now, we spent a lot of money on training camp expenses and money to, for the visa to travel to Vegas, and this is bad faith on the part of Ortiz, Uchinov told Boxing Scene. I'll leave it at there. So obviously, Uchinov is putting the sole blame on Ortiz. But if you look at it from another perspective, here's what's going on here. Now, what I've heard, and I've quite been reporting this, I've been hearing that I've heard that Ortiz was been unhappy for quite some time because. And I heard this from Mr. Boxing today, by the way. He said it himself that, Golden Boy has been mistreating him and they've misused him in a way. And I tend to agree because here's a man who headlined a HBO fight, in New York against Brian Jennings. He also headlined a fight against what's his name? Tony Thompson. But now you're sticking him on the undercard against Canelo Alvarez. He feels that he deserves better than that because he's rated one of the top 10 heavyweights in the world. He's undefeated and is avoided. Okay? So, Oscar De La Hoya, I understand, your company is in a perilous situation. You don't have many fighters on your books that you can market who are market value at this point. You only have Canelo Alvarez. And you're spending too much time and you're putting all your eggs in your basket for one particular fighter who's not even fighting the best in his division. Your golden ticket, your meal ticket, just vacated a belt, just avoid one guy and move out of division and find another guy who doesn't bring that much. Who's not. He's a pretty good fighter, but he doesn't pose no challenge to Canelo Alvarez. That's Liam Smith. And let's be honest. Oscar, you guys dropped the ball on Luis Ortiz, man. And now Ortiz is looking to get out of his contract, and I don't blame him. If he needs to go somewhere else, I say go to Al Heyman. Go sign with Al Heyman. Because why? Because Al Heyman has a lot of heavyweights that Ortiz can fight. You got Deontay Wilder. That would be easier fight to make now. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Anthony Joshua versus Luis Ortiz. Hell, I think the Ustinov and Ortiz fight could still be a go if Ortiz be successful to get out of his contract and sign with Heyman, and then they can go ahead and proceed with the WBA interim title fight. But the fight would be scheduled for a later date, and it'd be a headliner. So I think definitely be a great idea for Ortiz to sign with Al Heyman because he'll get more exposure and on the PBC brand, and definitely it'll take him to places that he wants to go. And I also think too Ortiz is very upset because he's been fighting opposition that he doesn't want to fight. You had guys like Carlos Takam, you had Alexander Trinko. They've all avoided fights with Ortiz, and the reason being is because they were looking for more lucrative money to take the fight with him. And the Golden Boy was pretty much lowballing the offers. Demetrenko, I think on the other hand, he was signed on to fight him. But then again, he comes back. He was demanding more monetary compensation for fighting him, and he was denied that request. So he pulled out. So I guess this is one of the brewing frustrations that Ortiz will suffer from Golden Boy, because he felt he was being mishandled due to those situations. And rightfully so. So, rightfully he should be upset. And again, the next move should be Al Heyman. Go over there. You get more exposure there. And I think Al Heyman will do a better job of marketing him than what Golden Boy was doing. And they really fucked up here big time. And Oscar, I'm sorry, and I don't have sympathy for you for doing this. But it just goes to show that you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in your basket for one particular fighter who's not even fighting the best in his divisions. So anyhow, I'm going to drop a link to the story below. Let me know what your thoughts are about this situation. And do you think that Uchinov, who's Ustinov's promoter, has a right to sue Ortiz for the damages here? Or do you think Ortiz is right for being upset and pulling out of the fight so he can find lucrative opportunities? Let me know what your thoughts are. Signing off. Peace.